Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Advance, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, and entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. ESPN is in damage control mode right now. And the reason that these guys are scrambling as a network is because for the last few days, Stephen A. Smith has been up on TV talking about, oh, man, the Lakers need to make sure they sign LeBron James, man. They need to make sure they sign LeBron James, man, because, you know, they're not winning nothing with LeBron. Like I said, it's like, yo, dog, prior to this playoffs, LeBron's playoff record with the Lakers was 2-14 over the last 14, 2-12 over the last 14 playoff games. 2-12. But they were trying to make it seem like these guys were going to the finals every single year. No, it's been a disaster now for quite some time with him on the roster. But then, of course, the news came out that Austin Reeves was extended by the Lakers for a 4-year, $185 million contract. And that's when the writing started to show up on the wall. Okay, yeah, maybe this franchise is moving on. So today, during an episode on First Take, it was Stephen A. Smith, I think Vince Goodell, and Kendrick Perkins. And they started panicking on the set. Oh my God! Why did they focus on LeBron? Even Stephen A. Even Kendrick Perkins. Why the Lakers got it wrong? They should have prioritized LeBron James before they prioritized Austin Reeves. And they just going into damage control mode, because a lot of these people were the same people talking about there was this big market out there for the guy. Like there were so many teams that were lining up to sign him. And then yesterday, Brian Windhorst dropped the truth bomb on him, where he essentially said that, look, no team is interested in signing for LeBron. I'm sorry to break it to you, there are no teams. But before we even get into these videos here, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Decagon. As a business owner, I know that the best customer experience is when it feels personal, that every customer has their own feeling. But the more you grow, the more requests start coming in, the more you start to lose that personal touch. So a lot of companies decide to turn to AI. And I have to tell you, I am not a fan of these sloppy AIs that whenever you call them and you're looking for customer support, they simply don't do a good job. And it's usually at this moment where companies lose that personal touch with their customers. That's where Decagon comes in. Decagon helps companies create personalized, concierge-style customer experiences with AI agents across chat, email, voice, and SMS. They're available 24/7, feel natural to talk to, and can resolve customer requests on their own, so businesses can keep up with the requests without losing their personal touch. And because workflows can be updated using natural language, teams can make changes themselves without long engineering cycles. Decagon gives your team full visibility into why agents make decisions and what's happening across every conversation. So it's easier to spot trends and improve the experience over time. Decagon helps power millions of conversations every day for brands you know, like Avis, Affirm, Fanatics, and Aura. Ready to transform your customer support? Go to decagon.ai/DreamersPro to get a personalized demo and see what Decagon can do for your team. That's decagon.ai/DreamersPro. Okay, fantastic. So what we want to do now is want to play what they had to say, take a listen to it, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show.
Lakers signed Austin Reeves to a 4-year, $185 million max contract to keep him in LA and restrict him from becoming a free agent. So AR will stay in LA with Luka. But as for LeBron James, who is an unrestricted free agent, Shams Charania says there's been not much movement. Listen to this.
My understanding is there hasn't been an offer out to LeBron James yet as far as his free agency. We'll see how that develops over the next 4 or 5 days when free agency starts. But a lot of it is like, how much can we upgrade the roster and then potentially go back to LeBron? Or do you take care of LeBron first and then figure out any type of potential roster move?
All right, so no offer yet for LeBron James. Stephen A., is it at all concerning that the Lakers have yet to offer LeBron when they've already taken care of Austin Reeves?
Not at all. Not at all. The priority was to make sure you took care of Austin Reeves because he's got value around the league because of his youth. And as a result of that, you can sign him and deal with other stuff later. You still got Rui Hachimura, you got Luke Kennard, you got Jackson Hayes, you got these people along with LeBron James. You can exercise bird rights and keep those guys. You know that, so that's a reality. But most importantly, here's the thing that's not being said. LeBron James has graduated to a point in the NBA in his career where he could essentially choose where he wants to go for the most part. Like if LeBron James, it's a money issue where we're concerned in terms of us talking about how the Lakers ain't gonna give him $52 million and all of this other stuff. I got that part. But if LeBron James, money aside, sat up there and said, I want to be on your basketball team, who's telling him no? Anybody telling him no? I mean, you might have one or two teams that might say no, but for the most part, 95% of the league is going to be like, hell yeah, let's make this happen, especially if money is not a factor. With him, it could be respect. He understands the business of the NBA, but he's graduated to that point where essentially he can dictate what he wants to do. If he wants to stay in LA, they ain't telling him to go home. If he wants to depart and say, I want to go back to Cleveland, they ain't telling him no. If he called Pat Riley and said, listen, I want to come back and join Giannis and Bam in LA, you think Riley's going to tell him no? He ain't going to tell him no. So that's what we have to understand. It's not really concerning to me because it's LeBron and that is his reality. A reality, by the way, that he has earned.
Vinny?
I'm a little concerned because normally it's two things. This is a relationship business. This is a respect business. And when you are LeBron James, think of all the times that LeBron has been an unrestricted free agent at any point in his career. Not only was he his incumbent team top priority, he was the league's top priority. This is the first time where he's not even the top priority on his own team. I wonder how that makes him feel. Now, if the Lakers have come to LeBron and said, LeBron, we're going to take care of Austin Reeves first, and then we're going to go and try to make these other moves, and then we're going to present to you a roster and tell you how much money we have left, that's one thing. But if you haven't had any contact with them, if you haven't said this is our plan and then we're going to come back to you, it sounds like you're a plan B. And if I'm LeBron James and Rich Paul and we know how they move in terms of leverage, they move in terms of power, this probably doesn't make them feel very good. If you talk to an agent of an incumbent team and you have this window after the NBA Finals and before June 30th where you can talk to your own free agents, where you can agree to your own deals, look around the league, y'all. Nobody hits free agency anymore. Free agency comes in the form of you being traded or you signing your contract before you even hit June 30th. None of those things have happened. I'm not saying that the Lakers don't consider LeBron James a priority. I'm not saying that these two sides aren't going to come to an agreement, but I'm not going to pretend that this is a positive sign or this is a sign of a partnership, because when you have LeBron James, you are in partnership with LeBron James. 40 years old, 25 years old, you are in partnership until he says otherwise. This is a change in the paradigm.
Yeah. Perk?
The Lakers are dead bird tall grass, straight up. And I never want to come on here because I'm always a big person that's going to advocate for guys getting their money. But the Lakers just showed us that their two franchise guys that they believe in is Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. And I'm going to say this again. They can't be thinking championships. Because you can't have both of your franchise guys be defensive liabilities. And that's what Luka is, and that's what Austin Reeves is. Let's keep it a buck. LeBron James should have been prioritized before Austin Reeves. LeBron James is the second most important player that was on that Laker roster behind Luka Doncic. And if I'm Braun, I definitely feel some type of way. But if I'm Braun, I'm also sitting back and I'm saying, okay, Rob, okay, front office, what else are y'all going to do? Because Luka said he has come out publicly, or the reports have come out, that he wants a A-list center. Well, what A-list center is out there, right? What A-list center are you going to get? You're not going to go get a Jalen Duren, excuse me. Who else is out there? You're going to go get a Karl Anthony Towns? You can't get him. So my thing is, the reason that Luka wants an A-list center is because his offensive package, meaning lob threat at the basket. But secondly, he's trying to get an A-list center to cover up for what they lack on perimeter defense. This is a problem.
All right, fantastic. So you heard what they had to say. Look, guys, it's over. It's over. It's over. I don't know what else to tell you guys. It's over. The movie's over. The show's over. The Lakers are moving on, and they should. I was saying, and you guys know it, you guys that watch the channel, I was saying that Luka Doncic doesn't seem like a serious person because I just couldn't understand that Luka would be willing to play when his prime years with a 41, 42. They just didn't make it like that's who the Lakers are going to pair alongside with Luka. Like it made no sense. But now it looks like I was wrong, that this guy was a smooth operator working behind the scenes, because now you could tell that the Lakers are doing everything that they can to maximize on what they have with Luka at the centerpiece. And with Reeves, if things don't work out, he has a 4-year contract. You can always trade him. And it would be a great chip to trade in the future because he's young. He's like 27, 28 years old. That's the reason why you prioritize Reeves over LeBron. Derp. Why would you sign LeBron to a 2-year max deal when no one is going to be willing to, he can't even trade him in the future. You're just going to essentially giving him money. But with Reeves, you have some maneuverability because if it doesn't work out, you want to make a move, you can move him. You could move him and get another piece. That's the wisdom of the move of getting Reeves now at a good price. That's why prioritizing it makes sense. So even if it doesn't work out, they can still move him. You still have wiggle room. But these guys are freaking out because they're telling people, oh, LeBron is so important to the Lakers. LeBron is so important to the Lakers. He's so important but the Lakers are publicly rejecting him. We did a show last night, which featured some comments from Shams, where he was like, the Lakers have not offered LeBron James a contract extension, and there's been zero communication. If it isn't more obvious than this, I don't know how much more obvious it needs to be. They didn't offer him an extension last year. So if they didn't offer him one last year, what's the likelihood of them offering him one this year? That was the indication that the franchise was ready to move on. That's what it meant. And last year, he was an all-NBA player. So this year that he wasn't an all-NBA player and they just pretty much forced him on the all-star team, if they didn't offer him a contract then, why would they offer him one now when he's a year older? It makes no sense. So I don't even understand what these guys are talking about. They're clearly not looking at this thing from a basketball standpoint. And you're telling me that the Lakers can't use their money to get another player that'll be better. So you're saying the Lakers cannot win a championship if LeBron is not on the roster. That's what you're telling me? So what about all of these other teams that have been winning championships and LeBron is not on their roster? Come on, like, what are we talking about here? It's over. The jig is up. Like, it's over. All of that twerking y'all doing is not mattering. In reality, it's not mattering. It's just y'all on TV talking. And then in the real world, people are making real decisions. What y'all are saying is having no effect, apparently.